Hello, YouTube. It's Silver Age Dave. I am in the comic room. Today is Tuesday, and it is a beautiful day. What a great day to be surrounded by comics and talking about comics and thinking about comics. And tomorrow's new comic book day, and that just makes today extra special. They're all great days of the week where I come from, but today is one of the best. So I've got all kinds of things to talk about, and we're gonna see who shows up today. I've got a great cast of great characters that are regulars. Some people join the chat, some people don't join the chat, and I love you one and all. Everyone in the community. I'm completely amazed. I watch a lot of YouTube, not as much the last couple of weeks, but I watch a lot of YouTube, and there's so many great friendships formed, and I've got ideas on how the life of how the life of a comic book YouTuber works. There's certainly going to be ebbs and flows. There's people that are up and comers in the community, people that are making their first couple of videos, and the community's going to embrace them and just keep doing what you're doing. Then you have old guys like Silver who are around, and I feel the love and the embrace. And then you got washed up guys like Bub's Comics. Everyone's kind of tired of him. His humor gets old. It's a little stale, but he's kind of like that weird uncle that shows up at Christmas. And he's had a couple too many, but that's okay. You put up with him. Of course, I'm just kidding. Great member of the community, Bub's Comics. Nice to see you. Thanks for jumping in here so fast. You are number one, my friend. We got James Higgins in here. Great to see you, James. What's up is I've been incredibly active. I was in ultra marathon training mode for so long. I've taken the last 30 solid days. I've been on a break. I've been ravenously hungry. I've been putting on weight. I've got a bit of a belly growing. Some of the kids nowadays, they call it a food baby. The girls call them food babies. But I've got a little food baby growing in my belly. And starting tomorrow, I'm back into training. I'm starting training for an event next October, of all things, and it's going to take me a year to really be prepared for it. So that's what I've been doing the last month. Hey, Matt, nice to see you. Thanks for jumping in and saying hi. I'll maybe see a comment from you later. Anomaly, nice to see you. I'm a big fan of Anomaly. Thank you so much. Yeah, see, Bubs always likes to wash up before Christmas. That's a beautiful thing. So during my month off, I've been concentrating on a little bit of family, a little bit of work. I actually painted my office last week, and I did some upgrades. I took an old road sign that I had, a lighted road sign that I wasn't using anymore. It was in nice shape, and I built a light box for it, which is beautiful. And I'm really proud of how that worked out. So now that hangs interior on a wall lit up. It's really cool. And of course, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that Silveridge Dave loves comics. So I've got all of these are new additions to the comic room and to the collection. And there's more, but I thought we'd talk about these and see maybe if I did well. I think I did well on these. I'm really excited, particularly about this box, which isn't a big box. It's a small box. But whoops, hey, what the heck? I got to get new tape on my no creeper sign. No pausing that in mailing me stuff. See, that's the risk of catching Silver Age Dave live, is you might find a Silver Age Dave blooper happen. So not to bring attention to it, don't rewind. Don't look here, right? All right. So let's look at this. This is, and the things I want to talk about today is new pickups, which is this. I mentioned in the little description thing or the title, horror stories, and I've got some cool horror comics that I thought we would talk about and I would show. So please, someone remind me later. And comic collecting direction I want to talk about. Someone please remind me later about that. Hello, Kelvin Jackson. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for jumping in. And this book I had talked about a few weeks ago. I did a live stream. I picked this up with a collection. It's called The Dark Book, and it's really, really cool. And talks about villains. It's like a listing of different villains across different genres. And then it had this poster that was inside of it that I am going to frame, and I am going to hang this up. But it's the top 100 villains of all times. And this came out, I think, in the 90s. So anything newer than the 90s wouldn't be on there. But it's a cool poster, and that is the book that I had talked about. So now you can actually see it. And they're pretty inexpensive, but it's a neat book. So there you go. Something to put on your list. So this particular group of comics, what I have is I've got a guy that I found who collected the way I collected. He bought multiples, and he's now thinning things out. And some of you may remember a while ago, I test bought a few books from him just to see if it really was true that these things are 10.0s, unread, mint condition 10.0s. And they were. Everything I bought from him came to me in absolute perfect condition, which I just love that. When things survive for, 20 years, 30 years, however many years, and they're perfect, that's exactly the stuff I love to find. So I thought I'd show you what I have here. I bought 5 each. Again, some people might say, that's Silver Age Dave, he's a glutton. And some people would say, leave a little bit for us, Silver Age Dave. And Silver Age Dave would say, I'm so happy to have these. So happy to add them to the collection. I've often said that, eBay especially, but collecting in general is kind of like the Wild West. I don't know what real rules there are. You get out there and I had questions for the community quite a while ago, and one was about ethics of, okay, you're buying comic books and you come across some major key book for cheap. What do you do? And in my opinion, there's always someone right behind you. So if there is some incredible deal at a garage sale or at a store or anywhere, it's one thing if there's a relationship built up and someone's just really screwing up, but it's another thing if you're just out in the wild, wild west. If there's a treasure out there to be had and you don't take that treasure, someone else is going to be right behind you taking the treasure. That's how I feel about things. And that's how I feel about this particular group of books, is that these were a diamond in the rough. The person is happy selling them to me. I'm buying bulk. This is one of what will be many purchases. But this particular book here, and I've got 5 copies of each of these. This particular character, some of you might remember from long, long ago. This is literally one of my favorites. When ASM 252 was coming out, and Secret Wars was coming out, and the Wolverine series was coming out, and the Thor Simonson run, 337, 338, and so on, those were coming out. This was also coming out, and this is one of my favorite characters. I couldn't wait for the new book to hit the stands. New Mutants was coming out back then, but Vigilante I always loved. So what I have here is 5 minty unread comics. Those are bagged and boarded. I'm going to give a big shout out to Vigilante. Nice to see you. Veranigan. I always screw that up. And my eyesight's not good. Varangian Vigilante. And I'm sure I slaughtered that, but you're always in here, and I really appreciate that. Slim Comics is in here. Great to see you, Slim. So I've got 5 beautiful, unread, mint in the bag, great corners, and just happy to add those in. I don't even know if I'll take these out of the bag. These will probably go in. If anything, I might flip flap these back and forth. It's an old collector trick. I think Metarog might use that one. I know for a fact Bad Avenger uses that one, and probably many other old collectors. It's a way to save the spines from getting spine rolled, is you just reverse them every couple books. And I do that with quite a few series in my comic room. So we have that. And the next one we have, which I was overjoyed that he had these. This is the Frank Miller Ronin series, which I was a huge fan of when it came out. I bought a couple of these from the guy, and they were so perfect. And he said he had more just like them. So again, you can see the corners on there are just pristine. These are 9/8, maybe higher. Who knows? If I sent a block of these into CGC or better yet, maybe CBCS, I have to believe I would get the lean on a few of these things just because it's a group of awesomeness. So we've got Frank Miller's Ronin, great. I think if memory serves me, it was 4 books, great series. The next one we have is, again, these are all 5-book lots. He's got them interestingly taped, and I appreciate that, but it makes it a little bit of a pain. Let me get that one off of there, get a little tape off. Okay, and I got my tape block right there, as always. All right, the next one we have is Alpha Flight #1. That's a up-and-comer, right? We think that might be a hot book. I've sold a lot of Alpha Flight over the years, other than Area 51 Mike from Canada, and I think Timothy, Canadian guy, great YouTuber. There's a few Canadian guys, and because of them, I'm specking on this book. I love my friends from Canada. Of course, we got the Wolverine, but Alpha Flight is one of those, if memory serves me, that should be a big book moving forward. So we'll see what happens with that one. The next one we have, this one just has a little bit of a Toledo connection, so I bought it. Potentially, if they do a Yellow Hulk, that's the first appearance of the Yellow Hulk. But really, there's a panel in here that talks about Toledo. So I went big on that. We've got the slightly heavy-set Galactus on there. That's what Silver Age Dave was looking like right now. 1 month of a lot of eating and no running. I stopped doing push-ups. I stopped doing sit-ups. I just went super lazy for a month. And I'm feeling great, a little bit sluggish, but that's a Silver Age Dave right there. And so that's what we have. We've got 5 of those. Again, beautiful corners on them. As advertised, just love them. And these were well packaged, so I was really happy with how this whole thing worked out. This is a guy that I took a chance on, and he said he had these things absolutely beautiful, and I cannot argue about the condition. They are beautiful. So let me give that one a cut. And then take that off. I'm going to have to go through here very carefully and make sure all the extra tape is off of there. Looks like what he did, he like stacked them, and as he added more books, he added more tape in a random fashion. And what's happened is in separating these, some of the bags have developed little tiny tears. And that's exactly where you develop a little nightmare if there's a little tiny tear in the bag and then a loose random piece of tape touches it, and then you get a cover tear on an otherwise perfect book. So this one, we have 5 mint unread copies of What If #35, What If Elektra Had Lived, which back then, I liked the Elektra saga. I was a fan of Elektra, so that would have been cool. if that's had it how it rolled out. But it is what it is. It's a cool comic. It's one of those I've got lots of copies of, and now I've got 5 more minty copies to add to the bunch. And again, I don't know if these will end up at CGC, but I have to believe CGC deserves to see some of these things. They're all 9/8 or better. Okay, so just beautiful. And you say, Silver, how can you say that? You haven't even taken these out of the little packaging yet. Well, based on what I received already and based on what I'm seeing, I'm saying they're all 9/8. Okay, I'm going to go on a limb. So let me do the quick review. So we've got What If number 35, What If number 34 with the Toledo reference. We have 5 minty copies of the Alpha Flight. We've got some greatness in here. We've got JLS Comics, and we have Aggressively Relaxing. Big fan of both of you guys. Thank you for taking some time and jumping in here. We've got 5 minty copies of Frank Miller Ronin, number 1. And then we've got one of my favorites, 5 minty copies of Vigilante, number 1. So I'm going to set those over here, and that's beautiful. So what else did we get from this fine gentleman? In the story on this is apparently this guy had a relative who owned a comic store back in the 80s. And so all this was new stock that was bagged and boarded and put away. And it was, I don't want to say forgotten about, but it was just put away for all these years. And I'm early to the party. This guy is really interesting. We've had a few phone calls. We've emailed a few times. So he's going through his books, and I'm at this point I'm getting first pick on a lot of this stuff, and it just makes it very exciting for me to pick them up in this condition. So this one we've got Jack of Hearts number 1, 5 minty mint copies of that. And then we've got this comic. I don't know if it's, this is one that I just like it. And see there, the little cover rip. And that's exactly where a piece of tape could get in the works there and cause a big problem. So I will have to go through and take these all out and just make sure that there's no problems developing. I can't stack these until I get all the bags off and make sure all the tape's gone. So tape block, Silver Age Dave tip of the day. Always have a tape block around, and then hopefully you don't have accidents. So this one I always liked. I thought was cool, and I bought it for not really as a spec, but I just thought it was cool if I get 5 perfect copies. X-Men and the Micronauts, number 1. Okay, this is all part of that, early 80s limited series greatness. It was really an exciting time to collect comics. Mike R201, hey, my friend. We have a morning live stream on a beautiful Tuesday. It is so gorgeous out. My office manager has been gone for the last week. Her daughter got married, so she's had a week off. And now she's coming back, and my life, I've got more freedoms again. So it's just a great Tuesday, great time to be alive. And our weather here in Toledo, they're calling for just gorgeous temperatures. And I'm going out tomorrow is going to be a nice long run. I'm going to see how far I can go, and after taking a month off. And then Thursday, I'm very excited. I'm having a date day with Mrs. Silver Age Dave, who is quite a looker. She is just a perfect candidate for a spouse. Way smarter than me, way nicer than me, keeps me balanced and stable. And when I lose my mind a little bit, she always reels me back in. So I'm going to spend the day with her, which is beautiful. Very exciting. That's coming Thursday. So the next set here, we've got Magic number 1. Again, that was a 4-issue limited series. I have some of these, but always like having more of them. Good morning, comic fan. I see you hiding in there with a good morning. Nice to see you, comic fan. So we have that magic. We'll put that right here. And then the last in this set is the Falcon #1, which again, great book, and it was a great limited series, and I just like it. And sometimes that's what it comes down to with collecting is, do you like it? Is it something that makes you happy? If it makes you happy, then you really can't go wrong. But I'm so excited about these. Let me show you. I'm gonna have to take all these out of their bags because these little tiny uh, rips on the outside packaging. So let me show you why I'm so excited about this. So this is the old time Mylar. Okay, that's what Mylar looked like back in the early 80s. It was so light and gentle. But it was a much better option than poly, and it's a really almost a forever material. So these won't be coming out of this thin Mylar, but check this out. Check the corners on that. These are all unread. This is new old stock, okay, from a comic store that went out of business, and they were just stored the right way. Just beautiful. And because they're in Mylar, I'm very hopeful they're going to have white pages. That's what I'm expecting. Bad Avenger, there he is. Nice to see a Bad Avenger. Bad Avenger, for people that aren't subscribed, you need to subscribe to Bad Avenger. If we could get it, I'll tell you what, JLS, if you're in here, if you could put a link for your channel, and if you could put a link for Bad Avenger's been killing it on videos lately, and he such a knowledgeable guy. I don't know who is more knowledgeable than Bad Avenger, and he does these great videos on things, and he's going through some boxes right now that rather than showing you haul videos, which he still shows, he's showing like just some backlog stuff. Very exciting. Great books in there. So these Falcon #1s, these are beautiful. These are absolutely beautiful. And I have the idea that I'm going to be sending these to CGC. I don't know what these things are worth in a 9.8, but I have to believe the world needs these. All these books in 9.8. I have to believe the world would be a better place if there were more 9.8s of these particular books that so many of us are collecting. Experience is right there. People in the 45 to 60 age bracket, even beyond that a little bit, we remember this time as a great time to collect comics. So there you go. Hey, Bubs did that. Thanks, Bubs. Bubs, put your thing in there too. I've got Hello College Jason in here, who's one of Silver's very good friends. And some of you might remember a year or two ago, I went out on a call. It was a random, these people found me to buy a collection of comics. And it was like weird 50s, some pulpish kind of stuff, but, you know, a little more risky than what I normally collect. But I bought what I could out of there, and I sold a lot of that stuff on eBay. Did very well. But the people had toy dinosaurs. This brother who had died collected the pulpish stuff, which were a lot of bondage cover type of things, and he collected toy dinosaurs. And I bought, literally, I have a 12-seater passenger van, which I happened to have the seats out that day, just by chance. And I bought a van full of toy dinosaurs. Well, a week ago, I had my garage sale, and let me tell you what, every kid in my part of Ohio is getting a dinosaur for Christmas. I sold hundreds of toy dinosaurs, cheaper than the stores sell them. It was brand new old stock. Well, Hello College Jason was such a help. He came over to the house. I fed him some beers. He's I consider him a professional picker. Like, he could be on that show and tell those guys, Mike and, oh, what's his name? Why can't I think of his name? the American Pickers. He would tell them a thing or two. Well, anyway, thank you, Hello Kyle Jason, for that, because I did very well in those dinosaurs, and always appreciate that help and friendship. Felix, nice to see you. Good morning, my friend. So so that's uh, my garage sale story with the dinosaurs, and it was very, very fun. Let me get rid of these, and we will move on to another group of things that came in. Let me put these. I gotta find a place to put them. Run out of space. Hey, did you guys want to see? I've got. Put that up here. I have a collection I bought like a month ago. And hey, Slim, thank you so much for stopping in, my friend. Really appreciate it. So I have a collection I bought, and I showed them unbagged or not rebagged. And someone had commented on that they wish I would show them a little closer. When I was making the videos, I was doing this. I really wasn't showing the comics. So if you guys want to see these, I can show you. Okay, I showed them once, but I didn't show them up close. And I did get a couple of comment questions on them. And so I am more than happy to show them closer up if you guys want to see them. Okay, I'm going to set those on the side. That was a great pickup. That was a great thing that worked out on those. I don't even remember what I paid for them, but it was nothing. Okay, so this is a collection of newer books. Let me set these down here. And this one, I actually felt bad for the kid. I did a video a long time ago. I think it was titled Sellers Beware. And it was about young guys that get into the hobby, and they get in hot and heavy, they go big, and unfortunately sometimes if you go big, you go broke. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't work out. Well, I run into a lot of guys that it just doesn't work out. And so this guy in particular, he got my name, I think, from one of the stores. We've got 5 stores in Toledo. They all have more books than they can deal with. And so stuff sometimes falls my way by referral. And what I do is I let them know, hey, I'm not going to pay retail for anything. You know, I don't want to waste anyone's time, but I'm not paying retail. I could do that through one of my friends at the LCSs. But I tell them I'll pay more than the store will, and you don't have to deal with shipping. You don't have to deal with a garage sale. And so this guy brought the books in. He was a young guy. I think he had car trouble or something. I get a lot of that someone gets a bill for $400 and all of a sudden they need money. And these books I bought, average on these is somewhere in the ballpark of 50 cents a piece is what I paid. And these are all new. There's 3 boxes. This box was most interesting. So I thought if you guys want to see some newer stuff, we would just go through these and show Daredevil all day and I'd be happy. Well, anomaly, I'll show those. If everyone wants to see these, which I did get into Mylar, I haven't notated them yet. I've just been too busy. But there's a Daredevil number 4. That just a great cover. Love those first 6, really first 7 Daredevils are beautiful. So these are books that this guy bought. He went big on them. And this is a signed copy. I don't know what, this Goblin Lord number 1 is all about, but he had it in there. Troy Couch signed a whole bunch of these. So we have that signed and numbered. Okay, you can see on there. And I've got a big box of signed comics. When I buy collections, then you get what you get. And there's typically going to be a signed book or 2. This one is also signed Apama. I'm unfamiliar with it. It's issue number 1, Hero Tomorrow Comics. And I don't know who this is that signed it, but it's signed. I have no reason to doubt that you know that it was signed by someone. And at some point I'll go through and I'll figure out who that is. But those came through. Um, hey, Bather 12, nice to see you from London. Well, it is about 10:30 here in Ohio. That's the East Coast side of the timeline for the United States. We had a few Web of Spider-Mans. I get a lot of Web of Spider-Mans. That's issue number 68. I'm going to turn these upside down just so they're together. We have number 71 in there. I've got an extensive Web of Spider-Man collection. So these won't get rebagged and reboarded. They're in nice shape and they'll just get thrown into the collection. 50 cents a piece, can't say no for these. And so typically, this is a tip. If you're in a situation where you're buying comics, it really pays to know what your competition is, what the stores are paying. So I know what the stores pay. I don't test them. I don't take books there to sell them, but I know what they pay. I've been in enough stores and kind of listened in while deals were getting made. I know Alex Comic Hoarder talked about doing that at some point. And hey, we got Comic Mag Musings. If I didn't say hello already, nice to see you, my friend. Oh, independent creator in Cleveland. That's great. Good to know. So we got solo number 1. So kind of, if I'm in a comic store when someone brings in a box or someone's getting pricing on a box, I like to be a fly in the wall. I get super quiet like a church mouse and I hide over there. And I'm not talking like a big, fat, noisy church mouse. I'm just a little tiny church mouse who's not even hungry. I'm not scurrying around. I'm just like hanging out listening, right? That kind of church mouse. And I'll pay attention. And I've done that for years. And if you're in comic stores enough, those situations are going to happen. And so what I do when I'm buying collections, I always try to tell people what they'll find if they take the books to a comic book store. Here we've got a copy of Hulk 238. Beautiful. Okay. And this is 1979. It looks like we have a truck driver there. And in the United States, back in the 70s, truck drivers, semi-trucks, was kind of a big deal. So I'm guessing that that was the tie-in here, was we had a truck driver, right? Like Smokey and the Bandit and Convoy, all those great things. My parents owned a pinball machine that was a semi-truck themed Bally jukebox, pinball machine, and so it was a big deal. So that's kind of cool tie-in to current events back in the 70s. Michael P with the Convoy. Yeah, we love Convoy. Moving all night, right? So we've got X-Man, and this is issue number 1, and I couldn't remember if this is anything or it's just nothing. I've got a bunch of these, but this one's in great shape. No ticks on it. Corners look great. So happy to have that. 10-4, good buddy. Yes, sir. Then we have Incredible Hulk. This is annual number 20. Okay. And when you're buying collections, you kind of get the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's every little bit of every little thing. We have Ultimate Origins number 5. All right. And in this case, I'm not knowledgeable on a lot of these books. So if he had a major key in here, I would probably know about it, but minor keys are going to go right over my head. So when I make an offer on a collection like this, if they don't have them marked as keys, I'm going to price them just based on random books coming in. This is Magnus Robot Fighter number 1. All right. And Bubs, he would say, as always, my Bubs shout out of the day, look at the fine artwork on this gauntlet here, on that robot arm. Look at the fine detail on that. That's beautiful detail on that robot hand. So there you go, Bubs Comics. Just love them. And then we've got these. This is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Urban Legends number 10. My son Gabe, he is a big turtle fan, so all the turtle books that come into the collection, those go into Gabe's boxes for him for someday if he wants them, or maybe he'll sell them. I don't know. And then we have Dawn of the Autobots, the Transformers, More Than Meets the Eye. This is issue number 28. So I know the Transformers, it seems to be an ebb and a flow that happens with those guys. We have Barry Windsor Smith cover. Was that on the Hulk book? Or on the Robot Fighter? I don't know which book you were referring to. Yeah, not really sure. I've got to do research on these. So we have Gorilla Todd. Good morning, my friend. Nice to see you, Gorilla Todd. Okay, so then we get into a lot of newer stuff. This is Detective Comics 987. Some of these are read, some of these are unread. So this particular issue, it's a variant cover, and it does have some spine ticks. So sometimes the guys that bring these in, there's a little spine tick right there. I don't know if you can see them. There's a couple little spine ticks. So sometimes guys bring them in and they're unread. Sometimes they're red. So the corners look great, but a couple ticks, that's a dollar book, I would guess, in most cases. We have Detective Comics number 990. Oh, the Magnus cover. Boy, I see some signatures on there, but I don't see that signature for Windsor Smith on there. But my eyes are bad, so maybe, but I don't think so. It looks like Bob Layton, and I don't recognize the top name on there. Maybe someone knows who that is. Can't really zoom in on it well. Anyway, we have that. We have Captain Comics in here. Nice to see you, Captain Comics. Civil War II, The Fallen, number 1. That one's in real nice shape. No spine ticks on it. So, what you get is you get sometimes guys that think, oh, these comics are going to be worth a lot, and they're spending a lot at the LCS. In this particular case, I don't know what he was doing, because there's not really runs. I almost think he was finding assorted books. This is Nightwing 62 variant cover, and that one's in great shape. It's a black cover, and I don't see any spine ticks on it. Looks beautiful. Oh, this one I was really excited about. I remember, as probably most of you guys remember, Art Nichols. There you go. Thank you, Bad Avenger. So this one, I remember when it came out, and I said, there is no way I am paying $10 for that comic book. And I remember walking away from it. I really wanted to buy it, and I said, no way I'm buying that. And so here it comes to me, 50 cents. So beautiful. And I'm saying 50 cents, but it might be a little less than 50 cents when I average them all out. But I'm happy to have that one. Okay, I wanted it when it was brand new, and I wasn't going to pay $10 for it. But here it is, and it has no spine ticks that I can see. Corners on it look great. So I'm real happy to add that one. Okay. Then we've got a Wonder Woman number 1 sketch blank cover. We've got a Wonder Woman 54. No spine ticks on here. Hey, Raven's in here. Nice to see you, Raven. Mick A. from Australia. Great to see you, Mick A. Thank you so much. Ruben, nice to see you. Kawabunga, he says. Beautiful. All right. And this is just a random collection of books I bought from a guy. Here's another one. This is December 2016. This was an $8, 75th anniversary. I've got no spine ticks on it. I've got perfect corners. Okay, so those look beautiful. Spine tick free. It's another book I didn't buy when it came out brand new, but now I have it, so my life's complete. Oh, and we've got a JLA on the back, number 4. And that one does have a couple spine ticks. So he might have been, I think he was a fan of Batman and JLA, because a few of these have spine ticks, but most of them do not. This was a cool New 52 cover. Okay, throwback to Tech 27. That's a neat one. No spine ticks on that. Great corners on it. What do we got going on the back here? We've got a mask, which I didn't realize it had that mask on there, the cowl, which is pretty cool. The eyes are there, not punched. So that must have been a giveaway that came with that special edition, August of 2014. So, hey, what time is it in Australia, Mick? Help us out. Those of us, I don't travel. I wish I could travel. I got too many kids, and maybe if someone wanted to just buy all the comics from me, I could travel. But it'd be expensive because I'd be towing a lot of family with me. But I'd love to know what time it is in Australia. We've got Sideways number 9, Dark Knight's Metal. We've got, it looks like a foil-ish variant there, maybe? Maybe it wasn't a variant. Yeah, it looks like it's just a main cover. Okay, so it doesn't look like a variant. So we've got that. We've got Terrifics number 9. And Bubs, you're right that there are a lot of new collectors like this guy that are, I think, just going to get clobbered. Not to say they're investing in these comics, and not to say that they deserve to be clobbered. No one does. But you take a lot of this shiny stuff, and you get a collector in there, and you think, certainly that's going to be worth something someday. And you know, those of us in the hobby, we know the vast majority of comic books aren't worth anything. You know, they're worth something to us if we love them and care about them. But then beyond that, you know, you got to connect with someone else who loves them if you want to get rid of them. That's tough to do. J Hood Creative is in here. Nice to see you, J Hood. We've got Jambo Comics in here. Yeah, you know, my live shows, it's just whenever I have a few free moments. Tiger Fist is in here. Pow, pow, roar. We got it all going on with Tiger Fists. Great to see you. 1:13 a.m. for Mick A. See? We've got Curse of Brimstone. That's number 7. Beautiful. So, Mick A., my next question is, what are you near? Are there kangaroos hopping around keeping you up late at night? Are you near the coast? Are you out in the middle? Do you have aborigines that will threaten to steal your comic books? What is going on in the life of Mick A? If you want to share that with me, I'm really intrigued. When we get people from across the pond, I just love it. I know Kay Titus is a common chat person from Japan. I think from Japan, and we have a few people from Australia. We have, of course, Gray Man and some other great people from across the pond in Europe. Just always like seeing so much globalism in the comic room. It's just beautiful to see. And I hope I'm not missing anybody. I'm scrolling around a little, but sometimes the chat moves a little faster than I catch up. So this is Action 1004. I bought some of the Action 1000. I bought a bunch of them on the cheap. I actually did a video on Action 1000 when they came out, but I didn't buy them after the fact. So we got some Canadian geese in here. Speaking of Canada again, we've got Old Lady Harley, number 1. This is a mini series. I did not buy the Old Lady Harley series. So again, it's beautiful when these things find me. And I don't know what I'll do with these. These are going to get, you know, put into the collection alphabetically, and I think they're gonna, sit for a little bit. This is Harley Quinn Road Trip Special. Neat cover. All right, and then we've got a few Suicide Squad books. I'll just do a couple of these. This is New 52, number 3 and 4. I pride myself on buying everything. When I am buying a collection from people, I let them know I'm not going to cherry pick you. Very few exceptions to that, but for the most part, I'm not going to cherry pick the collection. I'm going to take the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I'm going to offer you a price that's better than what the stores will pay. And you don't have to deal with eBay or garage sales. You don't have to meet someone in a creepy alley somewhere and worry about getting robbed. I'm an upstanding member of my community. I've got a professional office and a reputation, and it's going to be cash money. So that's kind of the allure of what I do. And the LCS stores, fortunately for me, when they come across collections and they just don't want them, sometimes they'll kick that stuff over to me, and then I reap some of the benefits. So we have Mick A's in Adelaide, South Australia. Only get the kangaroos in the foothills, but a lot of big fruit bats. Well, there you go. So you've got fruit bats. I love bats. I have a swimming pool, and at night we turn the lights on, and the bats fly right over there. And if you're in the pool, they're still like right by your face. I think it's just a great animal, the bat. We have Suicide Squad number 50. I'm not meeting up at no crack house, says Mick A. See, there's a fan of the channel. Thank you, Mick. I like that. Bats taste like chicken. Yeah, Bather 12. Bather's from across the sea. What time is it, Bather? And where specifically did you say you're from? Share that, since we're being so generous with our travel information here. There's Titans number 26. Hey, if you guys are bored of this box, I can show you some older stuff. I have no problem doing that. Teen Titans 21. I don't think there's any key books in here. What typically happens is the LCS, they will normally cherry pick. So this guy might have had some key books. And then, now this one I think is cool. Teen Titans 23. The LCS will take, I'll take this one and this one and this one. And they'll take they'll cherry pick a little bit, and then I get what's left. And in my mind, that's okay, because I probably am going to own the keys, and these are extra copies for me. There's another cool one. We've got Teen Titans New 52 number 6. All right, so these aren't in any particular order. And let's see here. I will fly through a little faster on these. Titans number 27. Suicide Squad 47. A lot of these gold foil things in here. Harley Quinn number 9. Justice League Odyssey number 2. This was neat. We've got, I don't even know what this is. It's Spider-Man number 4. It says it's a variant, and at some point it had a $15 price tag on it, but who knows why or how that got priced. 10 to 4 in the afternoon. Look at that. The jewel of the thing, is it pronounced Thames, like Tames? Most of what I know about that part of the world comes from Benny Hill. And I'm not worldly, but I know a lot of the Benny Hill stuff. So it would be interesting to get over there. If there's like, I know there's a thing here where you could go to famous sites in Philadelphia from the Rocky movies, and maybe they have that with Benny Hill show stuff. Beautiful. So it looks like Bub's Comics bought a short box last week at church. Go figure. It's good to be the comics guy. Yeah, tell everyone. A lot of stuff comes your way when that happens. So let's see. Marlowe. Okay, so nice to know. Teen Titans. We have 22. We have Amazing Spider-Man Immortal variant, which I thought was a neat cover. And just a whole bunch of more. I got 3 boxes of this stuff. And I'm getting bored myself going through new stuff. So I think if you guys are open to it, I think Felix said he'd like to see the old stuff. Uh, Thames. Okay, very good. The River Thames. Now I know that. Avenging Spider-Man 4, just a small run. Perfect, Mick. Thank you. Dark Knight's Metal. I think I'm going to have all of these covers someday, just coming in from random places. So I know there's a lot of variants on some of these newer things. Um, so anytime we've got Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, and as soon as I say that, I'm thinking of C. Woodard, who I think he shouts those two guys out a lot. And you're not tempted to sell the new stuff and go bronze, silver. Well, I have it all, and I love the bronze, and I love the copper, and I love the silver, and I love the golden age and platinum age and the current age and whatever other ages that they come up with. So it's just a big, like I said, a big random collection of books. They're not in order. You couldn't say, okay, now I'm going to read 1 to 10 of this or that. There's Naomi #1, which I don't think that's anything. I have the Naomi series. I think it was like 1 to 4 or 1 to 6 or something like that. But that showed up. This was a cool one. New 52, partial sketch cover on there, I guess. I don't know what you call that. Number 13. Green Lantern's in there, and Batwoman's in there. Like I said, a little bit of everything. A lot of DC in this section. Batman Who Laughs, there's number 4. Okay, 30 Days a Night, number 9. Superman number 4. Plastic Man even made his way in here. We've got Flash, a couple of these. This is number 42. And then we have a variant cover of number 55. I don't know enough about these. There's Batman 538, so a couple older ones. There's 454. A couple minor spine ticks on that. Ghost Rider number 5. Adventures of the Super Sons, which I'm always a fan of the Super Sons when those come in. Damage number 10. Hawkman number 4. Justice League No Justice. So I think, again, for what I paid, I'll have to do the math. I think it was 175 comics in total. There's X-Men. We've got Spider-Geddon, number 4. We've got Amazing Spider-Man 11. Nice to see ASMs. There's Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Grace Part 2. Superior Spider-Man number 6. Here we've got Flash drinking a, looks like a Slurpee or something. I don't know what he's drinking there. Gold Gauntlet Comics. Hey, how are you, my friend? And then this one looked really interesting. I'll tell you, I'm a fan of Lady Killer, and I'm a fan of Lazarus, and this is a really dark cover. I'd never seen this before. Medic number 1, which just really, really cool, and a little bit risque, but mostly looks really dark and cool. So I can't wait to read that one, and just beautiful artwork on that. I'm not familiar with this book or Flatline Double Take Comics. I'm not familiar with it, so I don't know where it came from, but it's looks unread. So very, very cool. The lady's got a syringe and looks like just up to no good, kind of like the Lady Killer stuff. Just love that. So we've got Suiciders, Kings of Hella. Okay. Anyway, I'll just blast through these and I'll show you guys some old stuff. So I've got some doubles in here. Turtles, Urban Legends #9. We've got, more of this Batman 73 and Harley Quinn versus the Joker. I'm a big Joker fan. Oh, this one was in there, which doesn't really go for anything, but I think someone had it on a hot book alert. This Loot Crate exclusive with this actress on there. And so, happy to see that. Batman 53, Batman Jazz, Volume 2 of 3 from 1995. Okay, Solar Man of the Atom. We've got #1 and #2 of 4. We've got Ragnarok, #9. And I'm not going to go through the other boxes, but it's just kind of more of the same general stuff. So, okay. So let me put these in here, and I'll show you guys some old stuff. Those of you still around, hit me up on IG, and I can hook you up with some of the other books they have. Oh, thanks for that comic burrito. A few free comic book days ago, my shop had like 10 of the G. Okay, gave me all of them. That's great. I don't really know much about IG. And frankly, guys, I have Instagram, and I'm afraid of it because I don't do that stuff. I'm not a big social media guy. So I've gone on there a couple times, but I get a little lost and confused in what's going on. So I probably won't reach out that way. But if you wanted to reach out to me, silveragedave@gmail.com with 2 D's in silveragedave@gmail.com. And that's how to get in touch with me. And I'm sometimes slow to respond because I don't check my email a ton, but sometimes I'm fast to respond. You never know with Silver. And it looks like we have Funk Comics in here, and we have Splash Page Comics in here. Great YouTube channels. Thank you so much, guys, for jumping in. So we just went through a collection of comics that I bought from a kid who, just got into the hobby and then hit some financial hardships, and the stores didn't want the books, so he referred them to me, and I'm happy to have them. So when it comes to old comics now, let's see. Bub says he does some work on IG. We've got CFAP, Comics for All People #1. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. Hello, people, he says. That actress has been cast. Oh, as a new She-Hulk. Okay. Yeah, I think I saw something about that, Bad Avenger. Thank you so much. And I know I said hi to Comic Burrito. I don't know if I said hi to Gold Gauntlet Comics. So maybe you get a double hello and maybe not. But thank you for being in here. I'm just doing a quick scroll up. And I think I'm caught up. So you guys want some old stuff. So do you want to see some old stuff you've seen or old stuff you haven't seen? These are books that were part of a collection that I bought maybe a month or so ago. And they were just in really ratty old polys. And I put them into Mylar. I haven't researched them yet. But I could show these. Oh, in this cover I had showed, and I said, boy, that's real familiar to me. Well, the collection I bought all the old pulpish books, and then I bought all the toy dinosaurs, which I did great on. Love toy dinosaurs, frankly. This was in a book that I sold on eBay, but it was famous covers. And this is one of them that I was after. And it was so expensive, I thought, oh, I'm not going to be able to afford that. And then lo and behold, look what finds me. It's a cool robot cover or Android cover. And it found me. So I don't think it goes for a lot of money. It's a little rough condition. You can see this isn't a tear through, but this is where the edge has been, worn down. Okay, so the cover's still there. It's just missing its color right in that little section. But still cool to have. We got William Smallwood in here. That is awesome. Nice to see you, William. Good morning. Curtis Campos is in here. Do you have any Dobie Gillis? I don't know. I've got no clue what I have. I don't know if I have it or not. You'd have to tell me more about that. my memory hello college Jason can attest to this. My memory comes and goes. So I wish I had that photographic memory like a Bad Avenger or a Metarog. Splash Page is real sharp on things. I'm not as sharp, so I don't know if I have anything. If you can give me a specific, I can try to touch on them. So, did you guys want to see this old stuff in Mylar? And or I can show you these things which don't get a lot of attention. You don't generally see them. I've got a group of these Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love. I've got a run of these I could show that came along. Yeah, Jambo. Now we're talking nice old books. So these you really won't see, and Halloween's coming. So maybe I should hold these back for a Halloween special. I don't know, but it is exciting to see stuff that that I haven't shown or haven't shown in a while. Like I said, I've been busy the last month or so, 6 months. I did pick up another one of these recently. That's a nice new minty copy. And I have a daughter, Gwen, so anytime I can find those, I like to find those. Those are nice. So what do you guys want? We could do the Forbidden Loves, which are really unique. So let's see. Shane R. likes the Forbidden Loves. Yeah, Curtis, I can't help myself. Let me tell you what. Give me a second, guys. Let me grab something. And I'll see if I can find something. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know if this is the box. I've got, like I say, I've got a daughter, Gwen. So I go sometimes a little crazy. I shouldn't even be messing with these. Yeah, let me set these here. Hold on, guys. Let's see. Bear with me. Okay, so let me set these here. I'm gonna set here. Hold on. Okay, we got that. Okay. So now we're talking. All right, so yeah, this is why I hate Marvel Comics. Is they really put me into a pickle because I have a daughter, Gwen, and that is unfair when you do that to a guy. So the one thing I've been buying a few of, some of you may be familiar with this, the Comic Shop News 1411 is actually the preview for the Edge of Spider-Verse. So as I sometimes do, I make a photocopy of what's on the inside. Well, I've got a handful of these now, and they're not expensive. I don't think it's ever going to be worth very much, but it's a preview of Edge of Spider-Verse #2. So this one, of course, is my most recent pickup, and I thought we'd go through. I only have one copy of this, which they say, like the kids in the Halloween costumes, you have, maybe Jane Foster and maybe Spider-Gwen. But I have one copy just in case. But I don't think that'll ever be the first appearance. I think it's always going to be Edge of Spider-Verse. This one is a dark variant. Okay, which these I think were overseas is where you found these. So those are worth more. When they're the dark variant, but I've got that one. And in this one, I think is also a dark variant. Okay, it definitely is a dark variant. They don't, CGC doesn't specify it, but people that know these books know that those are the dark variants. So I'm going to put that over there. That's a dark variant book. Hopefully that doesn't fall down. And then we've got just a stack of these. And, I've been buying them for a long time. So, I'm really happy when I'm seeing what's happening with these. And these, I talked about earlier how I put books in a box. I'm going front to back, and that helps keep the spines in nice shape. When you keep them that way, back and forth. So every now and then I pull these out, and it makes me happy. These will probably all go to my daughter. I hope I don't hit a financial hardship someday. They've gone up in value a lot recently. Not all of these are 9/8, but they're all 9/6s or 9/8. Depends on the whim of whoever the grader is when they come out. So there's another one. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9. And you know what I'll do? I'll start going backwards on them, and then maybe they'll shuffle back together. So 10, 11, and then there's number 12. And what I don't have is I don't have a lot of the Edge of Spider-Verse number 3 and 4 and 5. I just don't have those reprints. I didn't see the sense in buying them, and in retrospect, I wish I did. This one I happen to have was the third printing. I bought one of these books from someone, and then they sent me this as like a freebie. So that was beautiful. So I do happen to have that one, which is a cool cover, I think. Wish I had a couple dozen of them. So we've got those, and then I've got that one's a 9/6. Let me shuffle these. Just I don't want them to fall down. And then let's see, we got a PGX. I think that's who this is. There's a PGX 9/8. So anyone's guess on what that would be at CGC. And then there is a 9/6, and that's a signed one. Oh, and there might be signed ones in there that I overlooked. I don't know. I wasn't looking to see if they were signed ones. And there's another nice one, CGC 9/8. And then there's a 9/8 gold label one. And then the crown of the collection, I bought this less than a month before Stan Lee died, and I actually did a unboxing video with my daughter Gwen, and she was all choked up. She was teared up when she found out Stan Lee died, and then when she saw this. So she always asks how this comic is doing. And the person I bought this from had a 9/8. It was out of my price range. So yeah, that's the Spider-Verse number 2 collection. And when you have a daughter, Gwen, and then Marvel does this to you, I think I should be able to sue them someday, because there is nothing, guys out there who have a daughter, there's nothing better than having daughters. And in this particular case, I could do a whole video. I've got 3 boxes full of comics that just say Gwen on them. And they've done so much. Oh, this is kind of cool. Maybe I'll show these if I can find. Give me a second. One of my favorite places on the planet is here they are. Is Rupp's Comics in Fremont, Ohio. I hope I'm sticking with you guys. I told my wife I refuse to have a daughter. It says comics addiction. Okay. Comic Burrito has a daughter, Hazel. Very good. That's cool. Mickey, that is so funny, my man. Yeah, I buy them up when I can. CFAP, yeah, I'm buying them. And every time I buy one, I think, what the heck am I doing? But I might be at 20 and I might be at 19. I got to count them up. And I think I'm stopping at 20. So maybe that'll help the market a little bit if that happens. Yeah, doubles and triples. I happen to have a box next to me. Splash, you might get a kick out of this. Um, early in the video, I showed the multiples I bought from a guy who collected like me. He just has multiples. Well, anyway, I've showed these before, but this whole stack right here is mint, unread shadow number ones, right? It happens to be sitting here in a box. So that's for splash page. Again, front to back is how I store those to protect the spines. But I'm a glutton for doubles and triples and quadruples, and there's some comics like that. I don't know how many shadow number ones I own, but they always made me happy, so I collect them. So then a while ago, there were these variants that came out. Oh, these are cool too. These are recalled Spider-Gwens that a lot of people might not know about. This was a Comic Kings, okay, variant edition of number one. But what they did, the very first copy that came out, they had Comic Kings, but it wasn't outlined. You see the white on the real one. Well, this is the recalled ones. And Comic Kings did not like that you couldn't really see their thing. So what they did is they made this logo bigger. They made this outlined so it stood out. And so that's a recall. And I have a couple of those. And then the last thing I'll show, and then I'll show some older books. Sorry, guys. They have these Campbell exclusives. Well, my store here in Fremont, Ohio, happens to be a J. Scott Campbell store, so they get lots and lots of copies. So I have lots of these, and I was in there a few weeks ago, and I said, what else do you have? So they had more of these, and then I went back again, and I bought 4 or 5 more copies of each of these. So I've got a ton of them, and I just think they're cool. They're straight from the creator is how I'm buying them. I'm buying right through Campbell, and that makes it very exciting when that happens. So I've got a ton of them, and I don't actually know where they all are because the desk is getting out of hand right now. So let me put these away, and then we'll get back to doing what we're doing. Okay, Spider-Gwen, you gotta go over there. All right. So, sorry for that. Rename my daughter, and then you won't have to pick up all those Gwen books. Yeah, I love her, and that name's grown on us. So, that's just how it is. And let's see here. Hopefully, I'm not missing anything. Silver and Bronze says, yeah, you forget what you bought and you rebuy them. Splash. That's exactly where I'm at. Yeah, the comic, the Campbell variants are beautiful. And oh, we've got Hoosier Nerd in here. Welcome, Hoosier Nerd. Nice to see you. And we've got Immortal Biggie Shack from Akron, Ohio. Nice to see Immortal Biggie Shack. So I will show, since I think you guys like, the old stuff. So let me show some of the old stuff, and then I'm gonna call it a day. We'll do these Forbidden Loves. It's Halloween. Life is good, and so we'll do that. So this is issue number 1 of Forbidden Love, and it's a beautiful, beautiful cover. It's part of that horror genre that came out. I don't know if this was early 70s, maybe. It's a 25-cent cover. This isn't in perfect condition. These books in 9.0 or better condition are unattainable, sometimes very expensive, but very cool. Oh, I don't have a number 2 in here. That's interesting. Number 2 might have found its way into a different stack. So there's number 3. Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love. And then there's number 4. Okay, and this is the last book on this title. Okay, and then they changed the title to Forbidden Tales of Dark Mansion, which is awfully neat right there. Okay, and that's issue number 5. Beautiful. And then this is issue number 6. Okay, and we've got a multiple there of issue number 6. We have, yeah, and that's 1972. So this is very early 70s. We've got issue number 7. Really, really cool artwork on these. And then here's number 8. Hey, four-way flashers. Nice to see you, man. Bronze Age Dave. That's another guy, maybe. I don't know. Um, I love the Silver Age and the Bronze. I love all the ages. So there's, what is that, number 9. And then that's all I have them in this box. I've got this is all stuff that I need to put into other boxes. These have to file into the collection. So let's move then. The other one that you really don't see that kind of ties into it is Sinister House of Secret Love. And that is just a great one. That is issue number 1. Okay, and this is going to fall in that same time period. Just a beautiful, beautiful cover. Okay, and this is that gray tone, ties in so nicely with what Bernie Wrightson was doing in 1971. Okay, we all know that issue. Just a beautiful, beautiful cover. Love that. Len Wein and Bernie Wrightson, what they were doing on that. So this stuff ties in very nicely. And we've got, this is issue number 2. And again, these aren't in perfect condition. These are read and loved and appreciated for what they are. Great little segment, of the DC catalog at the time. There's issue number 4. Beautiful stuff. Great to see. And these will get boxed and put away and, maybe never to be seen again. That's the problem with a big collection is you categorize. Some people ask what I do for a living. I tell them I'm a librarian. You put this stuff away and you may never see it again. It's real, real funny. So I think that's issue number 5. Yep. Great, great stuff. And I don't know why. DC did plenty of horror stuff. They didn't get away from it. Because I own tons of it. But these particular series were real special. Okay, and so here we have issue number 6. Hey, Jim Bowers is in here. Great to see you, Jim. All right, and we've got issue number 7. Jim, I'm still waiting to come up to Detroit. I haven't been up there. We're waiting on my daughter to get scheduled for her test up there, and then I'll be up there for a day. So I'm going to reach out to you, but it hasn't happened yet. Yeah, Splash says some of his books he hasn't seen in 40 years, and it's beautiful when you get them out. I've had a few local collectors coming in and buying comics from me, and it's funny because I'll say, okay, what do you want to see? And one guy's like, okay, I want to see Bronze Age, Fantastic Four, and I pull the box out and I go through it before he does, because I just haven't been through that stuff in a long time, and that's working okay. I've got a few local guys. I know their heart's in it, and they're not buying books to resell. So I've been real happy with how that situation has worked out. Yeah, Felix knows the feeling. You go through these old boxes, and it's like, a walk down memory lane. There's number 8. Isn't that a great cover? You wonder if that inspired that movie. I can't remember the title of it, but the kids riding the dragon. Never Ending Story, was that the one? Okay. Oh, cool. Biggie Shack's getting a New Mutants 87. And I haven't done a little walk around in a while, but as you know, I think that's a cool issue to have. Some things are books that just go up in value. They're just always going to be good to have. There's number 9. Look at that. And then we've got number 10. I think I'll get through this series and then I'll be wrapping it up, guys, and calling it a day. Renee, I'm glad you're liking them. They're really special books. I don't run across these that often, but they're just something great about them. So much care was put into these covers. How to have so much happen in darkness and shadows. I just love them. This is issue number 11, which they got their shovel right there. They've been doing some digging. Yeah, these could easily go in Mylar, but um, you know, there's so many books. They're worth more if they're in Mylar. I'll say that, but that's okay. They're where these are stored. It's cool, dry, and dark, and they're not seeing daylight. And these poly bags, frankly, these things last forever. They last so long. And as long as you change the boards out now and then, I don't think there's really a problem. Some people say, oh, you got to change those polys every 10 years. But I've bought books that had been in polys for 40 years, never changed out. And those books come out of there and look beautiful. So, yeah, that right. Polys tend to be fine. These are all early 70s, Renee. This is early 70s DC horror. And DC and Marvel both experimented with this stuff. This was always one of my favorite covers as a kid. I always thought it was really cool. That is issue number 13. And then here we've got issue number 14. That snake is creeping up on her. Then we've got 15. And the art goes downhill. I don't know if they change artists here, but it goes downhill for me, uh, a little bit. Hey, Sleepy Reader 666, nice to see you. Sleepy Reader, another great YouTuber. He just had a Creepy Reader thing, the Return of Creepy Reader, I think, which is in my list of videos to watch. Nice having you, Sleepy. So we've got that one. What did I say that was? Number 15. And then here's number 16, which is cool. The Haunted Housemobile. I always like the Norm Macdonald bit. He talks about how the war on terror should start with all the nation's haunted houses. Got to make light of things sometimes. So this is what number we got? Number 17. And then we've got number 18. And that's the last one, guys. I think I'm going to show today. Yeah, the artwork is beautiful and really special stuff. So you saw a whole bunch of stuff. We spent some time together. I really love that. And I've enjoyed however long his video is, 84 minutes. Wow. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone being part of this. And being part of my day. You've made my day better. So be awesome. If the weather's nice, get outside. If it's not so nice, get outside because it's going to get colder and rainier and worse. But I appreciate you guys. Be awesome. Silver Age Dave is out.